guys, welcome to my channel among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha. I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom of 4 kiddos, and today I am just getting on here to chat with you guys a little bit of how our quarter 3 went. I shared with you guys actually just a few weeks ago some of the books that we were reading during quarter 3. We got through I think we did end up finish reading all of those books. My kids were able to use a few of those books as resources for their presentations at CC, which went really well. And they had a lot of fun picking and choosing and presenting on things out of those books. So that was just a few weeks ago, but by the time I got that video up, we were actually halfway through quarter 3 already, and so now we are getting ready to go into our 4th quarter. So I kind of do our quarters in 6-week chunks, and they are based off of our CC schedule. So we just finished up with spring break. Well, we just had a week off for spring break, and we are off from CC again until this upcoming Friday. So we took the whole week off last week, which is really nice. As a little update for quarter 3, I had told you guys that I really wanted to get back into a routine and get my kids going back into everything, because we ended up in this RV camper, which wasn't the plan with moving, but it's how it happened. So I was really trying to work hard in getting us back in routine, and we did. As soon as CC started back up, we just kind of clicked with what we were doing. We got back into our morning time routine. It's a much more condensed morning time routine compared to what we were doing when we were still living in our old house. But we got into our morning routine, and then I made like a little bit of a condensed schedule for each one of my kids, and they got into routine with their new schedules. So things in quarter 3, which went much, much better than quarter 2. Quarter 1, we started off really strong, and then quarter 2 was basically a complete bust, and then we took off almost 2 months for a winter break because of the move and all of the things that we had going on. So I was so hopeful of getting a routine going back for quarter 3, which we did. So I'm really excited about that. Like I mentioned, we just got off of our spring break, and we were able to pick up and go right back into school post spring break. So that's really exciting. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of update about what's been going on in our homeschool, and then also share with you guys some new readers that we have going into quarter 4, which is our last 6 weeks for CC. So we are getting ready to start our new science unit. I was actually going to start that back in quarter 3 at the end of that quarter, since we were finishing up with the arthropods unit, but instead I ended up holding off so that we could just start it fresh and new in this next 6 weeks. So we are going to be starting that this week as we start our quarter 4 for this homeschool year. This is our quarter 4 as we're rounding out our CC year, but because of the break that we took with our move and during winter, we are going to be having some summer school that we're going to have to do just to try and finish out some of our curriculum and things like that. But this is our 2nd full year of homeschooling, and we had to do that last year too. So my kids are expecting it. They know it's going to happen, and we're just going to keep trucking along in the summer. But I'm trying to think of some other things that happened in quarter 3 that are worthy of an update. So with my kids having condensed schedules, we have been doing lots of life schooling. So we have our 2 new dogs now that we live out on this property. I introduced those 2 dogs to you guys, Bonita and Zuma, a few videos back. We also recently got 6 chickens. Our first 6 chickens, we got 3 Easter eggers and 3 New Hampshire red chickens. They were about 4 months old, so they're getting really close to being starting to lay their first eggs, but we haven't had one lay any eggs yet, but they're getting really close. And then shortly after we bought those 6 chickens, my husband and my kids went to the feed store and ended up buying 9 baby chicks. We got 3 buff Orpingtons, 3 lavender Orpingtons, and then 3 blue laced red Wyandottes, I believe they are. So those are the 9 baby chicks that we have, and it's been a lot of fun taking care of the chickens and the baby chicks, the dogs, and just teaching our kids responsibility and giving them some animal chores. And so a lot of life schooling going on there with that. Lots of building of things, helping us out with getting our house done, working on the outside of the house as well. We've been doing lots and lots of planting and working on getting things in the garden. So there's just been a lot going on for our homeschool. Lots of CC memory work, lots of book work, and lots of work just learning some life skills. So that is one of the biggest updates for quarter 3, is just all of the routines that we've established now, all of the new chores and work and life skills that are being instilled in my kiddos. So that's been a lot of fun. So now what I want to show you guys are, I got just a few books as we ran out this CC year. 2 of them are going to be readers for, I got one for my son, one for my daughter, and then we have a chapter read aloud, and then a couple of picture book read alouds. So I will just go ahead and show you these really quickly. So the first picture book that we have is The Great Kapok Tree, A Tale of the Amazon Rainforest. That's this one here. And it says, in the Amazon rainforest, a man is chopping down a great kapok tree. Exhausted from his labors, he puts down his axe and rests. As he sleeps, the animals who live in the tree plead with him not to destroy the world. With over 30 years in print, the urgent conservation message of the great kapok tree is as important as ever. So that is this book here. And then, so the second book that we got is Samuel de Champlain, From New France to Cape Cod. This is here a little bit of, I believe this was Canadian history. So this one doesn't have anything on the back, but this book just talks a little bit about some early history of Canada whenever some settlers went there. So our family read aloud is a book called The Wild Chihuahuas of Mexico. There's that there. And this one says, the amazing tale of how a pack of wild chihuahuas helped win the Mexican Revolution. The daring adventure gives readers of all ages a view into the plucky tenacity of the mighty dogs who helped Pancho Villa and the Mexican people triumph during the Mexican Revolution. So there's that book there. And then the book that my son will read is Moccasin Trail. And this says, Jim Keith has lived for 6 years as a Crow Indian when he learns that his 2 younger brothers and a sister are journeying west to take up land. Although Jim finds it difficult to fit in with a family he hasn't seen since childhood, and though they are wary and distrustful of him, Jim feels his duty is at their side. But slowly, as they survive the dangerous trek west, the perils of frontier life, and the kidnapping of their younger brother Jim and his family, realize that the only way to survive is to accept each other and truly reunite the family. So this is the book that my son will read, and if we have time, they will just swap. I'm pretty sure they'll get through those pretty quickly, especially after Faces of History. But currently, they are knee-deep in working on their Faces of History writing project, so once they get these started and read through them, they can just swap books. And so my daughter has Sing Down the Moon. There's that one. And this one says, on a beautiful spring morning while grazing their sheep, Bright Morning and her friend Running Bird see 2 men coming toward them. Right away, Bright Morning knows who the men are. Slavers come to the Navajo country to steal girls and sell them to families in town. In minutes, both girls are caught and taken away. But Bright Morning does not give up trying to escape and eventually finds her way back home. What Bright Morning can't know, though, is that the entire Navajo way of life is about to change forever. So that is Sing Down the Moon. So those are all of the books that we are doing for quarter 4 read alouds and readers for my older 2 kiddos. These are the readers that they have, and like I said, they could swap. These aren't the only books they're reading. They are still working on novel studies. So those are things, other books and reading comprehension that they're doing, as well as well as books that they read for their IEW. And if you guys are interested in seeing, Faces of History is really fun. Well, Faces of History it can be fun, but it's a lot of work as well. But kids really get into it, even though it's a really long paper, but our community makes it really fun. I actually have a costume for my daughter for who she is going to be writing about for Faces of History. And my son, his is a little bit harder. So his actual costume is mostly just a headpiece and a necklace, but we're going to work on making that. He is excited to get that made. But if you guys are interested in seeing, knowing who they picked for their Faces of History, what books they're using as their sources, maybe their costumes, let me know. I think I am going to go ahead and film that. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know. Otherwise, you'll probably see it anyways because I think it's just fun to share. So they're super excited about it. I'm excited for them, and it's coming up in just a couple weeks. So that is all that I have for you guys. I just wanted to get on here, share a quick update about how our Q3 went, and also share with you guys an update to our morning time read alouds for CC. A lot of the resource books that we already have are going to continue on with us, as far as like the gems and crystals and things like that. The books that we got for those, and I can link, and I'll put the card up for you guys to see the books that I purchased for Q3, even though it's just a few videos back, so you can see what resource books I'm talking about that my kids pull their information for presentations from. So I have missed you guys. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful late winter, early spring. We had a cold snap here where we live just a few days ago, but it's starting to feel like spring again, and I'm really excited about that because that just means all of these amazing little seedlings that me and my kids have been working so hard to grow will be able to go in the ground soon. So I'm super excited for spring and all that it has to bring. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!